In The Dark Knight, the movie by Christopher Nolan, there is a moment in which Batman is with the Joker in an interrogation cell. And Batman finds out that in addition to Harvey Dent, Rachel has also been put in peril and she could die. When he finds this knowledge out, he puts a chair against the door and starts wailing on the Joker. The Joker, of course, loves this. He's just laughing with complete abandon. And at one point he stops to say, "You have nothing to threaten me with, nothing to do with all of your strength." And if you can understand that moment, then perhaps you'll not be totally weirded out when I say that I think the Joker's incredibly inspiring. Not Heath Ledger, the actor, and his great performance. I mean, I find that inspiring too. But the actual character, the Joker in The Dark Knight, that agent of chaos, that guy who murdered people with a knife and set money on fire, I find him inspiring in his framework of execution. And I would actually argue that he embodies some of the most profound tenets of spirituality. Let me explain. The Joker has two incredibly inspiring characteristics. The first is reckless, fearless pursuit towards his key result areas. And the second is a complete lack of giving a fuck about the result. Brian Tracy, in all of his major texts, says that there are only 3 to 5 key result areas in any field. For instance, sales. As a salesman, you really only have to worry about a couple things: prospecting, building rapport with the clients, and addressing objections, and lastly, closing. If you can do those 4 things, generally speaking, you will have success as a salesman. As an actor, I've identified just a couple of key result areas which I think might be true. The first is becoming a good actor, working on my acting at least once a week. Marketing myself through creating content and through reaching out to people through networking, email marketing, whatever it might be. Keeping myself as a high vibration human being by meditating every day, maintaining a degree of brahmacharya, eating a high vibration diet and exercise. And lastly, developing tangential high income skills. If I work on these things consistently, then today's results shouldn't matter. You know, in 15 years, I'll get where I'm supposed to be. Well, the Joker definitely embodies these characteristics as well. There's a moment in The Dark Knight in which he's talking to Harvey Dent, and Harvey's in a hospital bed with half his face burned off, and the Joker says, "I'm like a dog chasing cars. I wouldn't know what to do with one if I actually caught it. I just do things. The mob has plans, Gordon's got plans, the mayor's got plans. They're schemers. They're schemers trying to control their little worlds. I like to try to show the schemers how pathetic their attempts to control things really are." And it's entirely true. You know, our attempts, there's so much that's out of our controls. There's so much, even though I do believe that thoughts create things, and, you know, as someone on this path, you do regain a great deal of control and authority and clarity. But in terms of the machinations of the world at large, there are a lot of things we can't control. In order to move forward in the world, when there are things you can't control, I think an amazing way to proceed is to take on these Joker-like qualities. Not in terms of his actual purpose, even though he has identified his purpose as being an agent of chaos, but rather in terms of focusing on your key result areas, just letting go of the result. In the Bhagavad Gita, which is the central text of Hinduism, it's like our version of the Bible, the personification of God, the avatar of God, Sri Krishna, is talking to his friend and a great warrior, Arjuna, who is just a normal guy. And he tells Arjuna, there are several methods by which you can attain communion with the divine. One such way is the gathering of knowledge, but superior even through doing good deeds, gathering knowledge is meditation. But even superior to meditation, the highest path of all, is the renunciation of the fruits of your actions, because through renunciation comes true peace. And so, my friends, let's be like the Joker. That's what I propose. When you put effort towards things and they don't work out, know that at least you're investing yourself in your key result areas. Know that, failure isn't final. You can laugh at failure. Why so serious? And ultimately, the universe can only say no to you so many times. So let's stay on the path, focus on our key result areas, identify those, work on those every day. This could mean that, if you're a musician and you put out videos and no one watches them, hey, at least you're focusing on your key result areas. How long can people ignore your videos? Eventually you will keep developing yourself, eventually you will break through, and eventually you will get traction. With that, guys, that's it for today's video, and I'll see you in the next one.